Let me start with President Erickson of Penn State University. Mr. President, I have several questions dealing with the Freeh report. If you do not have an answer to the question today, I would appreciate if you can follow up your answers with a communication to the committee for the record. A special investigative committee of the Board of Trustees at Penn State hired the law firm of Freeh, Sporkin & Sullivan to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the university's actions in the Sandusky scandal. Are those deliberations and actions of the Special Investigative Committee, are they subject to the Open Records Law?
I'm sorry, are you asking whether the report, which was made public?
No, the actions and deliberations of the Special Investigative Committee headed by Trustee Ken Frazier and Secretary Ron Tomales, is that subject to the Open Records Law?
I'm not sure about that. I think there was relatively little deliberation that took place in that committee. The committee, in fact, received the report at the same time that the public did.
Can you provide the committee with the executed contract between the Board of Trustees and the law firm?
I will look into that and certainly try.
How much has the university paid the law firm for its services?
We'll have a detailed accounting of that at the next report on the Progress website, but it's something in excess of $6.5 million.
But where did those funds come from in the university budget?
They came from our rainy day fund. That was the source of that was interest that was earned on internal loans that we made over quite a number of years to the medical center and to the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics.
Have you or the Board of Trustees determined whether or not the Freeh report fulfilled the scope of its contract, and is the contract complete?
The Freeh report provided us with 119 recommendations that were directed toward improving our processes, toward improving safety on campus, toward improving governance and administration. We have been very hard at work really over the course of the last 14 months to review and implement those recommendations, and there's a full accounting of that on our Progress website. To date, we've implemented about, or have continuously ongoing, about 80 of those recommendations. There are probably 4 or 5 of them that we do not intend to implement because we don't feel that they're appropriate to us. But over the course of the remainder of calendar 2013, our goal is to fully implement the recommendations of the Freeh report.
A gentleman that I admire greatly, former governor and former U.S. Attorney General Dick Thornburgh, called in the credibility of the report, saying that it was seriously flawed and at best incomplete, at worst tragically inaccurate. Did you or the Board of Trustees discourage the NCAA from relying on the flawed Freeh report as the foundations of the sanctions against Penn State University?
At that time, there was little else to go on, and faced with a very difficult decision, we said that we accepted the Freeh report for the purposes of that consent decree.
Did you or the Board of Trustees suggest to the NCAA that it conduct its own independent investigation that would have afforded Penn State University its full due process rights to challenge any findings or sanctions brought forth by the NCAA?
They certainly had that authority to continue. They simply relied on the Freeh report.
But you or the Board of Trustees did not suggest to the NCAA that it conduct its own independent investigation. And is it standard practice across the country for the NCAA to simply accept an internal report by a member institution?
It's fairly typical that universities will conduct their own investigations, yes.
Going to the broader questions on Board of Governance, and this would be open to all the presidents, what are your thoughts on the General Assembly prohibiting university presidents from serving as voting members on the Board of Trustees of a state-related university? And that's open to all the presidents.
Well, I'll start on that. I have said that I have no problem with presidents not being voting members of the board. I think it's helpful for the president to sit in on board deliberations, but I have never seen a situation where the president's vote, in my case, would have made any difference in the outcome of some deliberation. So that may well be one of the recommendations that comes out of the board. Our board is meeting in the second full week of March. Our Governance and Long-Range Planning Committee has been very actively examining a whole host of issues related to the board in the context of many reports that are out there. And I'm sure you will see recommendations for a number of changes. But from my standpoint personally, I don't have a problem with being in a non-voting status.